Journalist and filmmaker Lauren Southern is, at least to me, known for her fearlessness. She is a terrific writer, and she's also a filmmaker, and she has made a couple of important documentaries, a documentary on immigration, Borderless. She's made Farmlands, Crossfire. Her articles have appeared in The Spectator, Sky News, Human Events, and more. Of course, if you go on a Wikipedia page, you see the left ranting about, oh, she's a white nationalist, she's a xenophobe, blah, blah, blah. She's, in fact, none of those things. And importantly now, she has done something I think that is very cool, which is she has written a children's book. The reason this is important in my view is because we on the right are often critiquing the left on the cultural domain. Oh, they did this and they did that and they canceled this guy and they're out to cancel that guy. But we don't do a whole lot of culture making of our own. So if you don't like the way the left is writing their children's books, why don't we write a children's book? Well, Lauren Southern has written a children's book, and so I invited her on the podcast. Lauren, thanks for joining me. It's great to have you. This is a little bit of a departure from your normal mode of operation, right? I mean, did you find it difficult to sort of shift gears and write for kids?
Yes and no. My son is 1 year old now, and he's getting to that age where I want to start reading him books. And I don't know if this is a new phenomenon or I'm just noticing it now because I'm a mother. But if you walk into the kids section of a bookstore, almost every single kids book right now is woke, and not just slightly left-leaning, but full-blown radical activist, anti-racist baby. It's been featured in it's had its own Netflix show, CBS, all these different shows, top seller. It's about a baby that goes to BLM protests, the ABCs of equality. P is for privilege, Z is for Zazer, Zem, the pronouns. These are the books culture, media want me to be reading to my child. I prefer to give him something a little more wholesome, maybe just the basics of morality, the basics of politics, before I throw him into the world of radical activism, which is clearly just being taught to kindergarten children to use them as pawns, not to actually educate them.
Now, when you talk about the left trying to teach one, so let's just take anti-racist baby for a moment. Is the premise that we are born racist and the racism has to be sort of chipped out of us? Because presumably a baby isn't bigoted, right? So why would you need to educate a baby in anti-racism?
Right. All these terms that are being used in books like anti-racist baby and the ABCs of equality are terms you don't teach a kid with the intention of trying to help them understand the world better. If you want to teach a kid how to understand the world better, you say, let's talk about reason, questions, wisdom, words that you can apply to trying to understand politics, rather than repeat after me. I am a feminist. Repeat after me. Black Lives Matter. That is to use these kids as pawns in the games of adults. And that's really, really tragic. And as you've mentioned, I've walked by these bookshelves so many times and said, I wish someone would do something about this. I wish someone would fix this. And it finally got to the point where I realized maybe it's my job. Like you mentioned, maybe it's conservatives' job. We have to take it up and just do it ourselves. Anyone can do this. Any of us can help influence culture.
Now you say this is in one of your tweets, you're talking about the theme in the book, and you say, it's okay to be masculine, bravery is good, don't fall for the trap of groupthink, pursue virtue and wisdom. Would you say that's a fairly good introduction to the themes of your book that you're trying to inculcate in young people and infants on up? The sort of ingredients of basic civic morality and also what it means to grow up.
Absolutely. A lot of it is just about morality, words like wisdom and virtue. And then a bit of it is about politics as well, because unfortunately, children are being politicized today, and they are going to need the tools to learn how to navigate that. I've included words like tyranny, words like slander, and even utopia, where it just kind of tells kids, if anyone tells you there's a perfect version of the world, just think about it a little, because that's not real. You can't just eat ice cream every day and never have to work. And odds are they want to sow more division. And we really need to give kids the tools to engage with all of the propaganda they are going to meet at every level of schooling, media, celebrities, internet. And this book, it's not some crazy, just partisan book of all of my opinions. It's tools for how kids can think, or not how they should think, but how to think.
Well, let's take a sample so that we can get a flavor for what's in the book. I'm sort of thumbing through and I see X is for censorship. And I wonder if you would sort of read that section so that we can get a sense of what you're trying to communicate to kids. X is for censorship. Sure. So I guess that's the Xing out of people's views, right? So let's hear what you say about it.
So this is a bit of an odd one because there's not very many words for X. It's the only one we decided to not quite put an X word, but X is for censorship. Xenio, Zulos, xylophone, or xenon. There are so many words I could lean on. X isn't only a letter, though. It can be very dangerous, so you should know. X is the symbol of censorship. Free speech and thought are what it seeks to strip. Censorship's dangers are vital to know because XXXX. Oh, are you getting curious what's blocked by that X? Sorry, they censored that part of the text. You'll never know what it said or might say. This is why censorship's never okay.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I think what it does, you know, the reason I think it's cool is because the idea that censorship is bad, the idea that we should be able to speak our minds, we think of these as sort of, they're part of the kind of natural diet of liberalism, but liberalism didn't exist from the dawn of mankind. Liberalism is a hard-won achievement inside of Western civilization. The idea that, for example, we should be tolerant of other people's opinions, or that we have the right to speak our own as long as we're not causing physical harm to someone else. So I think it's really cool that you've introduced that. Now, you showed the book and it had, it actually has very, I think, eye-catching art that goes with your prose. And it's kind of funny, I was chuckling because I see that this fellow named Mr. Alexopoulos, apparently some sort of a Greek, says that he's been drawing these R-rated comics, but then you apparently signed him up to draw for you. And it sounds like you've sweetened him up a little bit.
I have. He has done just that. Well, this one's a bit scary. That's groupthink, all the little computer people, and this guy, this free thinker hiding from them. But he's just done an absolutely gorgeous job on this book. I'm even making him more wholesome in the process of making wholesome books, which is excellent. There's Q is for question. I love this. It's conservative art, and you don't see enough of it these days. I think that in the process of making documentaries, you and I have probably learned a bit of it, how to communicate to people's souls through art and stories. But there's so much more the conservative world can explore in the realm of media and art and music that we haven't touched for so long, because we've just thought we can communicate through statistics. But the truth is, most people, they don't care about an idea or they don't care about a statistic or data until you show them why they should care. As Stalin said, 1 million deaths is a statistic, but 1 death is a tragedy, because people can actually connect to it. They can actually understand why it matters. And we really need to learn how to do that as conservatives. Put down the tools and pick up a paintbrush for a bit. Even if we won't make much money from it, perhaps it's our duty.
Well, it's become a bit of a conservative cliche that facts don't care about feelings, but I think that anyone who's in the poetic or creative, artistic, or certainly movie-making realm realizes that a movie is an emotional experience. And if you aren't able to deliver that emotional experience, you could almost say that people's feelings don't care about the facts. In other words, in order to have persuasion, you need to have the facts and feelings both on your side.
Absolutely. Mix them together. And one last point I wanted to make here, because I know this will be something people will bring up, saying, how dare you try to indoctrinate children, Lauren, with books and emotion and feelings? Well, this is such a toxic idea, I feel, that has been taught to parents, that you should never push your worldview on your kids. You should leave them to explore on their own. They'll just find their own path. Don't teach them religion, morality, anything that's pushing your ideas on children. If you don't raise your kids as a parent, the world will raise them. Celebrities will raise them. The state will raise them. Media will raise them. Kids are sponges. They just are curious. They want to know everything, and they don't have the context yet to know which ideas are good and bad. And it's your duty as a parent to instill good values in them. to redirect them away from really dark paths that the world can take them and that they will stumble into as you grow up, because kids need guidance. They need us as parents to teach them morality. They need us as parents to teach them healthy ways to pursue politics. And I really, really appreciate you having me on to talk about this, because it's so important.
Absolutely, Lauren. Hey, it was great to have you. The book is The ABCs of Morality by Lauren Southern. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.